What is going on? Welcome to today's trade recap of the day. Today is Thursday, February 5th, 2026. I'm going to be going over today's price action. The one trade I'm taking today, I made about $17,000 on the day. So we're going to get into exactly how I did that. I know today is a lot later of a trade recap. It's currently around 7:30 p.m., but that was because I was filming a video with the Alpha Futures team all day today. So I had to trade on my phone and I wasn't home, but I did just finally get home and I showered and now I'm ready to make this YouTube video for you guys. All right. I'm not missing a day. If I take a trade, I'm going to upload a trade recap. All right. I'll just say that. But yeah, again, I traded on my phone today and I'm super stoked with my overall execution in this trade. And I'm really happy with how I played it. Stayed patient. I mean, today's price action was just phenomenal. It was so freaking good. So many setups left and right. If you were bullish, you caught longs. If you were bearish, you caught these beautiful shorts. So really, really nice. And first things first, I did take screenshots of the P&L on my phone, but unfortunately TradeSync like resets at like 6 p.m. I'm pretty sure. But yeah, $17,787 across all my accounts. And then I ended up making, and then this is the executions of the trade, right? So MNQski. I got a pretty shitty fill just because I was literally like filming the video with the Alpha Futures team and I saw this setup happen and I was like, holy shit, I just saw this. Like literally and I entered here. So I got a pretty late fill. But yeah, anyways, let's just get into it, okay? Overall today was, again, a really, really clean day. And let's just first get into the bias coming into the day. Okay, bias coming into the day, I mean, I think we all know we're really fucking bullish, right? We are extremely bullish on the higher time frame. We are absolutely dumping. We are in a huge sell model on the higher time frame. Everything is dumping from NQ to ES to Ethereum to Bitcoin. I mean, fuckity, fuck. I need Bitcoin to start going up or else, you know, some bad things are going to happen, all right? I'll just say that. I mean, I'm going to keep adding more, but anyways, that being said, yeah, today was just very obvious. We had weekly sell side right here. So this is our weekly sell side liquidity that we were dumping towards. We also had this sell side right here, right? So I was overall looking to be pretty bearish coming into the day. Now, we did also sweep out previous day low, but what I was really also paying attention to was ES. ES was in its sell model, and it was also looking to go for what? These lows down here, right? We have very obvious lows right here on ES that was not too far away, right? It was about, 50 points away. So I definitely was looking to see this get hit on ES, okay? Now, coming into the morning, right, when I'm bearish, what do I want to see happen in the morning if I'm bearish, right? I either want to see price manipulate up and then get a short setup. If it doesn't manipulate up, then I want to see price distribute down and then get a continuation short, right? Like I'm literally just looking for those two simple things coming into the morning. Now, when we're looking at this overall range, right, what makes the most sense for price to do, right? Well, we already traded and mitigated into this hourly gap like overnight, right? We already traded this. We already traded into this hourly gap overnight. And if we look at London session, right? So let's just pull out London session here. What did London session do? London highs traded and mitigated into this 30-minute gap and this hourly gap as well with that, right? So London highs here is going to be a protected high. So what does this daily profile signify? What does the daily bias here signify, right? This is a London manipulation, New York continuation model. Whenever you see London session manipulate into a higher time frame for value gap like this, you can always expect New York, and if we get displacement from that, you can always just expect New York to continue that move, right? And to maybe manipulate into a gap of its own and then distribute, right? And what did we do? Okay, so pre-market, we just play this out. Let's play out open here, actually. Open ended up doing what? Manipulating. First, it went lower. Okay, first we did end up going lower. We hit, I think, a 5-minute gap here. Beautiful delivery. We went lower, took out this low. But what did we do here? We left still this weekly sell side, right? So if we go on the weekly chart here, we still left this weekly sell side. And at the time, this wasn't taken. I know it was taken now, but we have this weekly low here, okay? So whenever you see price leaving pretty much relative equal lows at a very high probability liquidity pool like this, it's a great, signifier in price. I don't even know if that's a fucking word, but that price is going to continue going lower, right? And again, we're just following that trend. And ES still has yet to take out this super obvious low, right? If I just zoom out completely, what's the most obvious low in this model on the hourly time frame? This low right here, right? So really, really obvious sell side liquidity pool here. Very obvious that we were dumping towards that. What did we do? We ended up manipulating up here, right? Tapping into this hourly fair value gap, right? From here, what am I going to be looking at? I'm going to be looking at the manipulation leg from the low to the high that hit this hourly fair value gap, and I'm going to look for an inversion fair value gap out of that. The highest time frame inverse here being what? This 5-minute fair value gap. So we see here we have this 5-minute bullish fair value gap, and for me to confirm this bearish bias, to confirm this narrative, to confirm that price is going to continue going lower, what do I want to see price do? Simply distribute through this gap, right? Respect bearish, disrespect bullish, right? That's what I want to see. We have this beautiful 5-minute gap as well up here that we hit. What do? We perfectly tap into what? Also, CE of this wick, of this gap, right? Perfectly respected that. And it was just a very, very, we see like the obvious displacement we get, right? We are wicking into this. Bodies aren't closing inside. Bodies aren't closing above, right? We are simply holding this. And then what are we doing with this gap? We're acting like it's not even there. We just absolutely dump through it. Look at this close. Beautiful close. Instantaneous displacement. And this is what you want to see with inversions, right? With trading in general, displacement, manipulation, all of them go hand in hand, right? Whether or not a gap is going to hold, whether or not a gap is getting respected or disrespected, right? The wicks tell the story, right? As well as the bodies also tell the story as well with that. And that's what you have to be paying attention to, right? So you can clearly see, again, how this body closed here. I did put a stop loss just at this 5-minute high here just because I did not need to see price go much more than that. Like, I was not expecting price to honestly rebalance this range. I honestly just was fine with the stop loss just based on the sheer amount of displacement we had through this. I know a lot of people, I know the two main questions I'm going to get that I got asked was like 10 a.m. and like 10 a.m. news and that stuff. Like, we should have manipulated. Like, why did you still take this even though you can expect price to manipulate? Okay, this is what you guys have to understand about like 4-hour openings specifically. Not every 4-hour candle is going to have a manipulation move. Okay, so that's really, really important. A lot of people think just because 10 a.m. is opening that we will manipulate, right? And that's not always the case, right? If we're going to be bearish, we'll have an open, high, low close. And then if we're going to be bullish, we're going to always have an open, low, high close, right? You see it all the time with, for example, like 8:30 news or 9:30 open, right? You see 9:30 open sometimes, you'll have a perfect draw on liquidity and the market will just instantly just shoot up to there. Why is that the case? Well, because probably pre-market already manipulated into an area, right? So if you can start identifying things like this and start putting confluences together instead of just like pattern trading the confluences of, okay, we have an open, high, low close. Like, we have to have an open, high, low close. We have to manipulate up just because it's 10 a.m. and just because we have this news, right? No, that's not always the case. And simply news is just going to be an injection of volatility, right? Especially it's JOLTS job openings, which is not going to do much. But with that, right, with these types of trades and with, 4-hour openings like this, price doesn't always have to manipulate. That's the main thing, right? Price can also distribute if we already manipulated previously. What do we do here? We have a perfect AMD model. We have our accumulation. We have manipulation into an hourly gap. And now we have what? What should this 4-hour do? What should this 4-hour candle do logically? It should distribute. There's no reason for price to go back up. I do not want to see price go back up and hit this high. I want this high to be protected if we are in a true market maker sell model, right? If we are truly going to be in bearish order flow, these highs inside this gap should get respected, especially after a massive displacing candle like this, right? So play it by that. The trend is your friend, and don't overcomplicate this shit, guys. Like, at the end of the day, like, you have your bias, you have your draw on liquidity. A lot of people just overcomplicate trading. Like, it shouldn't be that hard, right? But that being said, right, we still have beautiful sell side resting right here, still beautiful sell side resting over there as well. So I did take this for about a 1-to-1, 1 to like 1.4. I think I made around like $800 across my account, so like a little bit more than a 1-to-1, even though like my fill was like a little bit worse. I still ended up just making a little bit more. Anyways, had a TP at the weekly sell side right there. Really nice TP. Price ended up chopping up, and I mean, beautiful take profit here, right? I'm not gonna have a take profit all the way, down here for like 500 points, even though that kind of makes sense for like, right, the sell model we're in. No, because I'm gonna expect retraces to happen, especially after just taking out major weekly sell side like this, right? Weekly lows, like, it's just a major liquidity pool that you guys have to be paying attention to, right? But yeah, from there, I mean, there was really nothing that I liked for longs, unless I was on like some alpha accounts and we were making like a challenge video. So I actually did end up taking like some longs, but you know, nothing on my live account, of course. It was a one and done day for me. But yeah, overall, really, really awesome, beautiful day, bro. Beautiful day in price action. These longs were also really nice. Unfortunately, I wasn't on the charts for this. I was, again, making that video with alpha, and then, yeah, shorts were just textbook, and it's exactly what I wanted to see. I wanted to play that trend. The trend is my friend, so I want to always just be on side that. And then ES did end up taking out that very, very obvious draw that we were paying attention to, right? So again, another textbook day in the markets. Back green after that loss yesterday, so happy to make that L back and more. You already know. But that being said, that's going to wrap up this video. If you guys want to start copy trading accounts, the link is in the description below for TradeSyncer, as well as if you guys want to start adding some more allocation, right? I'm trading currently with Alpha Futures, Tradeify, Apex. I have a bunch of accounts just stacked right now with a bunch of different prop firms, also working on getting a payout from another prop firm right now. So it's probably going to take a couple more days, maybe even a couple more weeks. We'll see how price action is. And then I'll let you guys know how that prop firm is. But that being said, main firms I'm with right now, Alpha, Tradeify, Apex. If you guys want codes for all of them, links in the description below. Go check that out. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Hopefully, I'm going to drop a video by this Sunday. If not, probably by Monday, I'm going to drop a video on how to actually trade prop firms the right way and how to actually rinse them and how to exploit them. So that's going to be a banger video dropping. Really excited on that. But that being said, have a good rest of your night. Happy Thursday. And I'll see you guys maybe tomorrow if I take a trade. But we'll see. Peace out, guys. Have a good one.